arrested one of us, so we blocked the police car. And
was there any clear reason why they arrested the person?
No, not that I saw.
There were some clashes with the police. Can you tell me what happened?
They formed a police line in front of the cop car, and they pushed us.
Shut down the war machine! Shut down CANSEC! Shut down the war machine! Shut down CANSEC! Shut down the war machine!
There's currently a solidarity meeting of the Bloc and protesters. They're trying to decide what to do from here. The protest led away from the recruiting center of the Canadian Forces and is currently deciding where to go from here. The general consensus seems to either disperse or go back to the Ottawa Congress Centre to continue the attempt to shut it down. The protest seems to be moving right now in the direction of where it came from, the Dundonald Park. This is what democracy truly looks like.
Lots of money for the police and no money for childcare. Yay! Who's in charge? Who's in charge? Who do these people protect? Who polices the police? Who polices the police? Nobody! More money for police overtime, less money for childcare. Yay! We know who they're in bed with. We know who they protect.
Childcare, healthcare, anything but warfare!
Why don't you protect the people in poverty instead of the arms dealers?
Did you see how many people were arrested?
One as far as I'm aware.
Why were they arrested?
I really didn't, I missed that. I think there was a bit of a scuffle at one point, but that might have been part of the arrest process.
Okay, can you tell me what's going on right now?
I believe they're off to the jail to show solidarity with the person who was arrested.
Great, and what do the witnesses do?
We're basically here to observe the rules and make sure that people are treated civilly.
Right, and what have you seen so far in terms of civil treatment?
By and large, I think it's been very good. The police have been quite disciplined and I would say calm, which is really important.
Do you think that's due to witnesses being there in the past to protect the protesters?
Well, I think the fact we've been on the go for 6 years has certainly helped with policing processes.
Great. And will you be there at 3 o'clock at the reuniting point?
I'm not sure I will, but no doubt some of my confreres will.
Great, and you're volunteering to be here, right?
Yes, absolutely. Yes, I don't get any pay for this.
That's great. What is the, I guess, moral, ideological basis for your work?
We essentially are interested in protecting the right of free speech and the right.
So what do you hope to accomplish here now that we've regrouped at the Ottawa War Memorial?
Well, I just hope that we can get close to CANSEC, and if not, then at the very least continue demonstrating our resistance and resolve to shut down all industries that profit from war and the destruction of human life.
And there seems to be a lot less energy and sort of motivation in this crowd. What do you think will be accomplished?
I'm really not sure what will be accomplished. I guess that depends on the energy, the motivation of the people involved, as well as the numbers we have, police presence, and how much of oppressive assholes they are. If they're, if they're less of jerks, then maybe something can happen, but who knows.
What would be the ideal situation?
Well, I'd really like to see nobody else get pointlessly arrested. That would be great. I'd also maybe like to see the march, go back to CANSEC again, and maybe some of the CANSEC delegates actually actually seeing the resistance to this, even though I don't think it would faze them one fucking bit.
Now, CANSEC is supposed to end today at 4 o'clock. Do you hope that the march will meet the end of the conference and the exit of the delegates from the building?
That would be ideal, yes.
Do you expect a clash?
I expect no doubt that the police will create some sort of confrontation, and I don't doubt that if we were to meet the end of the conference that there would be, there would be antagonism on both sides, because clearly we're, vehemently opposed to how they make their living, so.
What do you think of the fact that the police are intent on protecting the delegates and not the crowd?
Well, I think it's just another example of using, of the myriad examples of the state using its might to back corporate interests and profiteering above, above human life and above everything else. I mean, it's just, when it comes down to it, this is just a logical extension of the use of the police to repress movements for justice and dignity.
There was a lot of bypassers that were watching while there was scuffles between protesters and police earlier in the day. The police weren't really bent on protecting the passerbys, which sort of comes to question, well, who are they meant to serve and protect if the protest is supposed to be a dangerous and militant one, and yet there are all these citizens standing around exposed to this big black bloc, and yet the police are not protecting them, they are only protecting the property. What questions does that bring to your mind?
Well, I mean, it's almost not a question for me anymore. The police, first, although most of their function is this sort of pseudo-mundane public safety shit, that's not their primary concern. Their primary concern is protecting those in power and their property and the profits they gain from the exploitation of humans and non-humans the world over. So, I mean, to me, I guess it's not the least bit surprising. Yeah, it's really disgusting to see, but it's kind of expected, I suppose.
Thank you very much. This is Leah Tarachansky with
Thanks.
For Rebel Television. After much deliberation at the reuniting point at 3 o'clock at the War Memorial, the crowd of protesters set to shut down the war machine, or otherwise known as CANSEC, Canada's largest arms fair, has decided to head back to the police station, where they are going to show their solidarity with the arrestee known as Alex. They are going to sit here until he is released, as is the Ottawa tradition.